Record. A little dim, but I'll touch that up in editing. Ting ting. Red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather. What Republicans are selling, but what they really do. This is what Republicans are selling. This is what they campaign on. This is what they give speeches on. This is what the commercials are about. This is what Fox News lectures about 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have a monopoly on the military and being a proud American. That's what they sell you. When you vote for them, you get to say, I'm pro-military and I'm pro-America. American exceptionalism, that too. Which really we all are. I mean, I'm not going to go off on that tangent, but we all are. You can be pro-American, you can love this country, the culture of this country, what this country is about, the people in this country, without, not being upset about drones or the Iraq War or other unconstitutional, injustices. Low taxes, cut taxes. They're the party that will save you money if you vote for them. Now this is funny if you're paying attention and you look at the recent history and history over time, since like LBJ, Republican presidents only cut taxes, meaningful percentage of your taxes, for rich people, corporations, entities of wealth and institutions of wealth. They don't cut your taxes. Bush cut taxes for the rich. I mean, millions of dollars. Individuals were saving millions, and then people got a check in the mail for like $300 twice. $300 twice, cool. Gas was like $4 a gallon then because of all his bullshit and Wall Street running wild with betting on futures and derivatives. So $300 could get you some gas for the month. That's great. That really helped the economy. So they're low taxes, cut taxes. In contrast to the Democrats, who are the tax party. And then before, what they're selling the Democrats are contrast to that as well, in their eyes, and in a lot of people's eyes. Not being pro-military enough, pro-America enough, not, do you believe in American exceptionalism, those kind of questions. Anti-government, less government. Which is funny because they are running to govern. They are running to run the government, and they want less or no government, in a libertarian sense. Capitalism and deregulation. They're the party that they're the true capitalists. They're the true party for entrepreneurs, business people, job creators, makers, not the takers. So they're anti-welfare, they're anti-social programs, they want to fuck with Social Security and Medicare. They call these all entitlements. You can call welfare an entitlement, but they say it as a derogatory, as a dismissal, as a negative. A negative is when in fact people paid into Social Security their whole life. So to raise the age or cut back on it at all when there's a gigantic surplus, there's as much of a surplus for Social Security as the cost of like the Iraq War and maybe the Afghan War too. Just because they've spent it on wars and other stupid things, tax cuts for the rich and wars, okay, they want to take it away from working. I mean, okay, that can be another tangent. Religion, pro-life, God, just God is the main bullet point here, and anti-gay marriage, anti-gay people, anti-gay human beings. That's this party. Anti-immigration, anti-more human beings, which is different than gay. Not in the human sense, but in the sense that immigration is, it's not, well, it can be when you're born, but it's different. But anyways, let me continue. And maybe most importantly, or all-encompassing, the past, particularly your view of the past, a certain view of the past, but they can touch on a lot of different views with one pitch. So, they're selling all these things. Some of them even sound good. A lot of them sound good in a naive sort of way, or in a grandiose way, or impossible way, like American exceptionalism. But the way they govern in power, or when they're trying to govern, when they have less power, the military thing is purely superficial, because they're pro-military when it comes to starting wars, when it comes to foreign policy, military engagement, but not as much pro-military when it comes to taking care of veterans. And if being pro-military is supporting the troops, that's kind of a big contradiction there, and kind of shows their hand, their card in their hand. The taxes, they cut taxes for a small percentage. The whole 99%, 1% thing fits for this. That's who they cut taxes for, the 1%, and then, people who make good money, over 100,000 a year, like 10% of the population, they cut taxes for them, and corporations, of course. I mean, they are the party for corporations. Don't get me wrong, Democrats are totally cool with that too, but they're not as unabashedly direct about it, okay? They're not as brash. The capitalism thing, which the job creators and their whole pitch of small businesses and makers versus takers and welfare, they are the party, they say, to, and this goes for the anti-government thing too. Government's problem is when it's too big, and when it's too generous, it makes people lazy. It makes people not want to work. In effect, it's like a socialism. It's like communism to them, really. So vote for us if you hate communism, basically. So some of this you're like, oh, well, if you're not paying attention, or if you don't spend a lot of your time, because it takes so much time to, swim through the bullshit in the polluted fucking ocean of politics. I mean, cable news, it's not just Fox News, I mean CNN. Let me go on. The religion thing. A lot of people are very religious in this country, traditionally religious. And when one party is selling, hey, we believe in God too. We believe in God, we think gay marriage is gross, and we're totally against abortion, that's fucked up, killing a baby, no matter how early on in the development or in life it is, that's us, vote for us. Anti-immigration can also link to foreign policy, because it's a fear. It's a fear of others. It's a fear of losing control. And it's a fear scare tactic for, terrorism and, people that want to hurt us and people that are not like us. So vote for us if you're scared of that. The past and your past from an individual's point of view. they're selling a time. They're selling basically, I don't know, the 1950s. A time, an idyllic, a time that was never, it was good for certain people. It was good for white men with a certain job in a certain place. A lot of white men, yes. But it wasn't good for women, it wasn't good for black people, it wasn't good for this people, that people, it wasn't good for the rest of the world. But they're selling that as the golden age of America. The golden generation, the time we need to go back to. You can have all that if you vote Republican. You can have your own house. You can be safe in your house. You can have a car. If you want to start a business, the government won't get in your way. But all these things they sell are just talking points. They're talking points that they know will win them elections. And they're talking points that the things they actually want to do, these things, most of them, look like, take deregulation. They want to deregulate the economy so big business, so major players, so big money can get away with things, can cut corners, can not take care of their workers' safety, can pollute the environment. Wall Street, these laws, they have billion-dollar consequences, trillions of dollars added up. So it's a big deal, but it's not for small businesses. The small business owner has to play by the rules. He has to pay his taxes. He has to take care of his workers. He can't pollute the river behind his business and get away with it. They have to play by the rules of the law and actually compete in the marketplace, real capitalism, while the Republicans are making it easy and subsidizing that same game for the rich and powerful. All these things fall in basically two categories. You have like the religion category, the social issues. That's a giant segment of their base and of the voting population, that, especially in the South. It's not a coincidence the red states are in the South. That's a huge box to check off. That's a huge box to fill with voters to win elections. Okay? That other box is the pro-business box. So they have the religious box, and they'll sprinkle in some military, and then they have the box that really matters. They don't really give a fuck about the religious box that much. They own that. Okay? And that's really important, because they wouldn't win anything just on their policies, because their policies are for the rich. And a lot of people are sick of that, especially after the latest economic collapse. Because we know it was the banks and Wall Street that caused it. So this box, they sell, we're for the little guy, and we're for the working guy. We're for the hard-working white man whose wages are stagnant, whose retirement is in question, the whole future is in question. His kids might not have the same opportunities he did. He doesn't have the same opportunities his father did, or he did a few years ago. They're selling him a chance to reclaim some of that, reclaim that grip on the fruits of America. And they sell them that through an anti-government lean, an anti-government agenda that makes you think, if you buy into it, okay, I want to pay less taxes, I pay fucking tax, they take so much money out of my paycheck, and all these people are on welfare who don't work, I'm paying for that. That's got to be a lot of money. There's millions of people on welfare who don't work. You know, I don't want to pay for immigrants' health care. I don't want to pay for this or that. So when they get those boxes filled, they have real power there. Because that is the South, and that is the generic white male in this country. The reason they don't win every election is because they're crazy, because they have to appeal to both those boxes. They have to appeal to the religious box, the box for the Koch brothers, for big gigantic businesses, and also throw in the racist box. If you're racist, you're going to vote Republican. That's just how it is. That's why when you see a black Republican like Ben Carson or Alan Keyes or Clarence Thomas on the Supreme Court, they're usually, I don't want to say psychopaths, but they have this self-hatred, delusion, psychosis where they hate their black skin, they hate the black culture, they hate black history. I don't know. To be Republican and black is, it's not being like Jewish in the Socialist Party or the Hitler Party, but it's along those lines. It's in the same ballpark as I guess John Travolta would say. So they're good. The Republicans are good at selling this. They stick together. They stick to the talking points. They stick to the message, because they're not trafficking in real ideas. They're not really. Their intent isn't to govern. Their intent is to pay back their donors, their big donors, and to establish their worldview, which is capitalism for the rich and America for the rich. And they get all these people to vote for them because they disguise these policies as actual help and understanding for the white male in America, for the religious in America, for the racists in America, for different people that fit in that box. They sell them this, and they go, this is good for all of us, for us. You can have your past, you can have your worldview with us. We hate gays too. We hate the government too. We hate the government. We're just running to run the government. We really want to get rid of it. And we have an American flag pin. So that's the gist. That's why people vote Republican. If you buy into their sales pitch, it's pretty good. That's the way it is.